Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today I am reacting to The Mole, episode 6 through 8. You guys, we have 2 episodes left, and we will be finding out who is the final person to get eliminated between Joy and Jacob heading into the final 4 and ultimately the final episodes that are going to drop next Friday, you guys. And I have a lot of thoughts. Let's start off right off the bat. I am shocked that Pranav was eliminated so early. I thought for sure he was a shoo-in to the end, to at least final 4, but he got played. He got played so hard. And again, Avery held some things back from him. So clearly he completely misinterpreted some things, misinterpreted some people intentionally sabotaging, and he is out of here. Then next, Casey gets eliminated, you guys. And I never thought she was a mole. Because she was doing a terrible job of trying to seem unassuming and trying to be all for the team and trying to quit at critical moments of a mission to make it seem like she is trying to help out her teammates when in reality she is trying to sabotage. So I knew that her days were numbered, and I'm actually shocked that she lasted as long as she did in the game, you guys. I am actually shocked she did. Then we get to a final elimination that we saw in the episode with Greg, you guys. And you know what? We have to give props to Joy. We need to give Joy her flowers. I need to see Joy on Big Brother. I need to see her strategizing and taking out all 15 house guests and getting herself to the end and winning. Because that girl is smart. She is smart because she has killed it. And in this particular dinner, she is dragging the heck out of Jacob. Dragging him because he has not won the group any money. Calling him a bleep hole mole, you guys. I was cracking up. I was here for it. Everybody around the table was gagged. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. And it was hilarious, you guys. But she's right about him. And Greg took the bait. So here's the thing. The thing is, Jacob is a terrible liar. Let's just get that right off the bat, right? He is a terrible liar. He completely gives himself away. However, he positions himself in these missions on who he is partnered with to ensure that he is with the person who is the bigger suspect than him so that he can get through to the next round. However, he finds ways to sabotage the mission, right? He finds ways to sabotage the mission. And even though the last mission technically wasn't his fault, you can argue between whether or not it was his fault or Avery's. But ultimately, he doesn't have that go-getter, mentality. Hey, we only have this amount of time to complete the mission. He is very lackadaisical, does not care if you lose the money or not, is very determined in missions that he knows he does not have the money, or is not a benefit for him to win, and tries to, suspect other people, but it makes him look suspicious, you guys. But he is definitely not the mole. I refuse to believe that he is the mole. I just think he is a terrible liar. And he enjoys sabotaging the group because he hasn't won the group anything. And I can't believe Greg took the bait. Greg, of all people, who is supposed to be great at observing people, is supposed to be great at playing good cop, bad cop, completely got conned, completely got played by Joy when it was all said and done. So there is that. So who do I think is getting eliminated next? It has to be Jacob, you guys. Jacob has to be going, you guys. I mean, his time is up. Enough is enough. Joy, she tried to do her thing where she's trying to put suspicions now against Avery and Cassie. And she is right in the sense that they are trying to find ways to sabotage, right? Avery's a little bit more obvious in her sabotaging. And she kind of came on later, once Joy stopped doing a lot of suspect stuff at the beginning. She came on later trying to make herself look like she's a mole, but she's not. And Cassie, I just think it's her gameplay. Her gameplay is really like, I'm going to pretend I don't see anything. That is her gameplay. I'm going to pretend I do not see anything that is critical information so that I can try to stall the mission for as long as possible and put the team at risk of losing. However, I don't think she's the mole either. But I think because Avery and Cassie, and to a smaller extent Will, has suspicions about Joy being the mole, is how Cassie and Avery have lasted in the game this long. Because notice Avery says that she splits her answers between Jacob and Joy, which would lead me to believe that Jacob is not the mole, right? Jacob definitely is not the mole because nobody else is saying his name. But Joy's name is coming up for Avery, Cassie, and also William and Jacob to a degree as well. But the thing is with Joy, you guys, she has been on to Will since the very beginning. And look who's narrating the show, you guys. Who is narrating every single episode? William. Why? Why is he narrating everything? And remember, he did the challenge at the very beginning where he snuck out in the middle of the night to steal the cargo, and ultimately won the group extra money. So it looks like he's a hero. He looks like Thor, but really he's bad Thor. Really, he is the mole. He knows that people are going to find him as the ultimate competitor, as the person who is going to want to win. So they are not going to suspect him. And Joy is the only person who's been onto him, if we're keeping it a buck. She's been onto him for the beginning. And if Joy has been wrong about William, why hasn't she been eliminated? Why has Joy not been eliminated and she has basically said Will every single quiz? Why is that? Because he's the mole and she's going to win the game, you guys. She is going to win the game because I think what will happen ultimately is, I think when we get into the next episode, Jacob's going to go because he chose wrong on his quiz. And I think one of either Avery or Cassie will be taken out next because that will screw up Avery's game and, you know, being confident about it being Jacob. And she will realize that she was wrong as well and be at risk for going home at presumably the final four elimination, you guys. So there is that. But I think ultimately it will come down to, you know, either Cassie and Joy or, you know, Joy and Avery against Will in the finals. And there will be some mission where you have to be like, okay, who do you think is the mole? And I think Joy is going to win. And I think Will is going to be exposed as the mole, you guys. Because it's like, for me, if you pay attention to his confessionals, it's like he wants to appear like he's calling out other people to be the mole, and that he really is thinking up long and hard about these suspicious people, but really he's just up because they're giving him stuff to do. They're giving him stuff, finding ways for him to appear like he is insulated with the group and not as obvious as being the mole, but he really is the mole. Like, there's no other explanation for him not being the mole. The people who are intentionally trying to sabotage... See, Joy played this well. Joy played this well in that from the beginning, she was sabotaging. From the start, she was intentionally sabotaging so that everybody could be onto her. Meanwhile, she was onto Will the whole time, right? And then everybody is dropping one by one with their wrong assumptions of things, right? And so then once she does the ultimate sabotage of taking 25K out of the group's pot, everybody's pissed at her, everybody hates her, everybody's mad with her. Then she starts to integrate herself more into the game and playing as a trustworthy player, is playing as a player who is going to be a go-getter, who had an opportunity to take a second elimination exemption card and take herself to the next round against Will, against the person who she thinks is the mole, and chose not to do it. That was strategic to make her look like she is all in for the team and not all in for herself. But again, she is now playing the trustworthy game, but at the same time, she is playing a game in front of the group where she's going to call out every single person except for the person that she thinks is the mole, because that is her ace in the, hole. That is her ace in the hole. That is what's kept her in the game this long. If Will was not the mole, Joy would not be in this game this long. Joy would not be in this game this long if, in fact, it was not Will that was the mole, you guys. I cannot see another situation. I can't see Cassie playing the mole. I just can't see it from her. I just think she's playing a very, lackadaisical game where she's trying to seem aloof and, stalling and things. And Avery, she's just blatantly lying. I can't believe they chose her for the Burge case next challenge. I couldn't even... What in the world? What in the world were they thinking? I knew that was a terrible idea. They should have chose Joy. Joy would have gave them the right clue. She would have paid attention to detail, and they completely fumbled. They completely fumbled because it's still an argument as far as if Jacob delayed, stalling in the pizza place on purpose, or did Avery intentionally not look on all sides of the pizza box for a number, you guys? What was really going on there? So there is that, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys think is the mole? I know some of you are going to be in the comments and still say it's Cassie. I am telling you it's not her. I am telling you that I was down between Jacob and Will, but after this episode, I'm convinced it's Will. I am convinced it's Will because Will's approach is he is going to appear like the good player. He's going to appear like the good guy. But as the episodes progress, he's more of the narrator in the confessionals. However, he is stepping back in a lot of these missions. If you pay attention, he's going to look like he wants to win, but deep down, he is making sure he's positioned against somebody else who is a bigger threat, is a bigger target, but isn't the mole, but is just more of an easier player to suss out as a possible mole so that it keeps him, off of other people's radar. And the only person who really is on to him is Joy, and who has been on to him from the beginning is Joy. So I think he is the mole. I would be shocked if he was not the mole. I would be shocked. And I would actually be shocked if Joy ended up being the mole, but I feel like at this point in time, she is positioning herself, she's playing a very honest game at this point to where I feel like she is not the mole. It was too obvious, all of the sabotaging that she was doing in the beginning for her to be the mole in the end. It's definitely Will. It is definitely Will, and that is what I'm standing on, and Joy will ultimately be the winner, you guys. So there's that, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know you guys are going to think that Jacob survives. You guys are going to think that Cassie is the mole, but I'm telling you it's William. I am telling you guys it is William. And no, I do not have any spoilers. No, I have not analyzed the upcoming scenes and previews for the final episode. I have not analyzed who looks away from the camera in the confessionals and all of these other tactics that people are doing. I just know based off of how this is going, that if it is Will, that is the mole, and Joy that is the winner. If I am wrong, I will humbly take accountability for that and call myself out for being wrong, right? But everything that I've seen up until now, especially after these past couple of episodes, I definitely think Joy is going to take this and Will is the mole. Because why is she only the person who is answering the most answers correct about Will to, ensure herself to the next round, and she hasn't been eliminated? And while Will is throwing Joy's name out there, how do we not know that he is also answering the correct questions on the quiz? So that way, because he would know, because he's the mole. He would know because he's the mole. Even though he strategically puts out other people's names and pretends to be shocked when other people get eliminated that he so-called suspects, I think it's all a game, and I think either he, like Joy, is answering all the same correct answers about himself, or he is strategically still answering questions about himself for half of the quiz, and then the other half of the quiz, he is then going with whoever the majority thinks is the mole, that he knows obviously is not the mole, to take himself to the next round. Perfect strategy, because it makes him look like, he's not the mole. but really deep down he is. So there is that. But please let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.